Hi! Today I've got a twist on the Emboss Resist technique by combining it with watercoloring. And I'll be demonstrating that using the new Heart Happiness stamp set. Welcome! I'm Shelley Godby, the owner and CEO of Stamping Smiles, and for 16 years I've been teaching others how to create their own hand stamped smiles. So if you've never heard of the Emboss Resist technique, that's okay, because I'm going to explain as I demonstrate. Here's a closer view of the Heart Happiness stamp set. It's from the 2018 Stampin' Up! Occasions catalog, and look at the variety of hearts we have. Today we're going to be using this heart that's full of flowers. So how all this came about was I was envisioning this on crumb cake in white with a lot of color. So I thought, okay, the best way to do that will be to emboss. So I got out my Whisper White Craft stamping pad. You could also use the Versamark pad. But before we do any stamping, because we're going to emboss, we're going to use the Embossing Buddy. I'm going to take this and rub it all over my crumb cake cardstock. And what this is going to help do is keep the embossing powder to stick to the wet ink and not any oil from my fingerprints. All right, so now we can go ahead. We're going to push flip, lock that into place, and let's give this a good inking. And okay, I didn't get it quite there, so I get in the habit of turning over my stamps, making sure they're well inked. Here we go. And it's easy to see with the white, where with the Versamark I can't see quite as well. So both are a pigment ink. They're a permanent ink and they'll stay wet longer. So here we go. Let's go ahead and stamp this, making sure we press everywhere. And what I liked about using the white was you could see what I was doing. Okay. Oh, there we go. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to take the white Stampin' Emboss powder and sprinkle it on here. I've got a paper plate to catch this in and to catch it and funnel it back into the jar when I'm done. So we'll sprinkle this over it. All right. Make sure we get over the whole image. And so look how much whiter that is already with the white Stampin' Emboss powder. And so now we need to melt it. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the heat tool. And the heat tool has two settings. The first setting is to dry the ink. The second is to melt the emboss powder. The heat is very intense, but it's not blowing like a hairdryer, so it doesn't blow the embossing powder off. So hold it on until you see it go from this powdery to a nice white. It takes a little, oh, there you go. Once it gets going, it goes really quickly. There we go. Do you see that? Now, had I done the Versamark and it wasn't stamping white first, it'd been more dramatic. Oh my goodness, this is so pretty. Crumb cake and white, very nice together. So just finish this up. There you go. So once you melted it, move on. You don't want to leave it on there because you could burn your paper. Okay, so hold it in the light and look for anything powdery, because if you see anything powdery, you can go back and finish it. But we're looking really good, so we're done with that. And we're going to watercolor, because we're going to combine the technique of the Emboss Resist and the watercoloring. So before I put all the time into coloring, I go ahead and do any die cutting, and this heart coordinates with the Sweet and Sassy Framelits dies, one of these. But this is showing you the technique, so I already have it die cut. I die cut that in my Big Shot. There we go. Now we're ready to start watercoloring. So I'm going to start with the Berry Burst Classic Stampin' Pad, and you could use your thumb. So I have more strength in the palm of my hand, so I press down on that lid. Now we're going to push, flip. We're going to leave it open because I want to get to that ink in the center. And then to watercolor, I'm going to use my absolute favorite watercoloring tool, and that's an Aqua Painter. I just filled this reservoir with ordinary tap water. So now I need to get it started. And I have on my stamping sleeve, so I'll squeeze on here, wipe off the excess, and then come in here and pick up color. And I'm going to color in the flowers. All right, so the Emboss Resist technique is whatever's embossed resists the ink. So I don't have to be really careful trying to get just on those petals. I can color in that whole area. What I do want to do is stay in the lines, because I do want the crumb cake in between. but I don't have to, you know, I can't go outside the flower, but I'm okay. Look at all the ink on there. It's going to be okay on the flower itself. So let's get all of these. And a lot of times, so I could have embossed this and then taken a classic Stampin' pad, and that's what I'm using. I'm using dye pads. That's what the classic Stampin' pads are. They're a dye ink. And rubbed color all over. And the embossing, what's embossed would have resisted it. But instead, we're going to combine this with watercoloring so we can be precise and get all the colors that we want. Isn't this pretty? It's going to be even better when I show you the resist part. So with the Aqua Painters, you get 2 tips, a large and a medium, and I'm using, look, this one, so it's nice and small for me. There are 4 of these. And Berry Burst, that's one of the 2017-19 in colors. Very pretty. There we go. So, like I said, we don't have to be really careful inside the flower, but I just want to make sure I don't go outside the line. So we got all 4 of those, so when we're done, we'll close this. You hear that click? We know it's shut so it doesn't dry out. Now I'm going to change colors, and to do that I need to clean my Aqua Painter. So I'm squeezing and wiping on here. Let me show you how well we colored, because the next color we're going to do is Crushed Curry. Excuse me, I was thinking Daffodil Delight. I wanted it deeper than the Daffodil Delight. So again, pressing down, push, flip. Here we go. And look, if I hadn't cleaned that well, I'd have a big mess in there, but I cleaned that off really well in my stamping sleeves. I use my stamping sleeves so I can quickly wipe my hands in between stamping, because I get ink from opening the ink pads and just from the clear mount blocks. And so I'll have a link that you can go and check out, ordering a pair of stamping sleeves yourself, and they really come in handy when I'm watercoloring because they're right there. Okay, those are those 2 flowers. All right, so let's go ahead and close this. We're done with the Crushed Curry. We're going to change colors, so again, let's wipe and clean that off. So next I'm going to use Wild Wasabi. I decided if I go ahead and color in all the leaves, it'll make it even easier to find the rest of the flowers. So I started with the large ones. Okay, here we go. And I was really pleased how well the Wild Wasabi showed up on the crumb cake and how the color stayed pretty true. Because a lot of times when you stamp color on color, you know, one color on another, color, it changes the color. You know, the 2 are combining, but boy, it sure looks good in the crumb cake. And what else is nice about embossing, it's keeping that color in the lines. Unless I go outside of it, like I did right there because I was rushing, unless I go outside the line, it's keeping that in. Now the Aqua Painter controls the water for me, so I'm not putting down a lot of water. And if you decide you've got more pilling up than you want, just wipe on your stamping sleeve, get that excess off. Okay, so let's fill all these in. And oh my goodness, I got to this point, considered stopping with just the big flowers filled in and the leaves. Then I did keep going. So I want to pause and look at this, and so you'll be able to compare this with all the white, because it is very attractive with the white embossed on the crumb cake. I think I got them all. Now if I didn't, no big deal, and come back. Let's clean this off. So we never want to go into a new color without cleaning it first and compromising them. Oh, I did just find another one. Okay, here we go. Right here. Oh, a couple of them actually. There and there. No big deal. We could have come back. Oh, hey. Boy, now I'm just finding them everywhere. There we go. Well, they get more evident as you fill them in too. Okay, how about some Perfect Plum? Pressing again. I thought these little flowers look like wisteria. My mom would know. Master Gardener Mom would know. That's for sure. Okay, isn't this pretty as we add more and more color? I can't wait to show you when it's all done though, when none of the color is pooled up on top. Okay, I think that's it for our wisteria. Let's clean that. And then we've got some pumpkin pie. Pressing down, that push, there we go. All right. pick up some of that color. Aren't you just really pleased at how well these colors are standing out? Very nice. Okay. There we go. Just one more color, one more clean. There we go. And some Flirty Flamingo. Pressing down. There we go. And we'll come in here. Get these little ones. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Flirty Flamingo, now this is one of the 2016, 2018 in colors, and it's going to be retiring this year. So any of those are retiring, and that list will come out in April. And they tend to sell out pretty quickly because once they're gone, they're gone. So if you have them, you're going to want to stock up and make sure you've got ink refills and cardstock to use with them. One final, let's go ahead and finish cleaning this off so when we get out next time, we're all set. So isn't this pretty? But it's going to get even better because look, whatever is embossed, the dye ink doesn't stick to. So you can just wipe it off. Now that's still a little bit more than I want. So what I'm going to do is get a little bit of water. A little bit from my Aqua Painter, and actually that wiped off pretty well. Look at that. See how it picks up? We wipe off anything that was pooled on top, and then the colors just get so much more vibrant. So we've got that beautiful vibrant white, our vibrant colors that we just colored in with the background of the crumb cake. Now I want to show you the card that I made using this beautiful, beautiful heart. So here's my finished heart happiness card. Didn't this turn out lovely? I really wanted this against the white, and it was just too much to do the whole thing, and it worked out really well doing a border of it. And then I added this gorgeous ribbon, also from the Occasions catalog. This is the Berry Burst Metallic Edge ribbon. So pretty. And then to give it a little bit of color behind it so the crumb cake wasn't right on the crumb cake, I cut another of the heart of the same size in the Berry Burst. And I was really liking it, but I thought, boy, I wish there was just a little something more. Perfect. See my gold? Perfect touch. And these are from the Painted Gold vinyl stickers, Painted Love, sorry, gold vinyl stickers. And you get 2 sheets of each. And so let me show you this one. I thought I was going to be taking it off in both rows, which I was fine with. So when I started peeling it up, it was just 1 row. So I'll be able to get 4 of these cards from this. And like I said, because we've got 2 of each of these sheets. So here we go, even more fun things to play with. Love the paintbrush mark ones too. And so there we go. Quick and simple card, but combining 2 techniques, the Emboss Resist, because none of our white has color on it, making it just so vibrant against the crumb cake, and all of our beautiful vibrant colors. I hope you'll combine Emboss Resist and watercoloring too. And if you'd like to make my Heart Happiness card, under the video you'll find the link to the blog post with all of the card measurements and supplies to make it. And if you'd like more of my stamping techniques, well, I invite you to subscribe to the Stampers Insider. It's your free stamping source for inspiration, information, and ideas. Just go to www.thestampersinsider.com to subscribe now. I'm Shelley Godby, teaching you how to create hand stamped smiles. Thanks for watching.